Hey there, this is Mr. Tush over at Global, and today we're going to go through a pretty challenging concept, but it's the key to how all of your pages are going to structure. And that is, we're going to use simple tables to give our pages a more interesting, more routine, accepted layout. Right now, our web page looks very 1995. It's a style that was originally driving the web. Everything was very vertical. Everything kind of went in a very vertical way, and pages got longer and longer. And over time, web designers discovered very dynamic ways to lay things out on a page that make it more visually appealing. And for most of the time that the web's been in existence and commonly developed for, easily more than 20 years, people have been using tables. And tables allow you to put things in HTML pages that work side by side. And here's how we're going to make it happen. We are going to add a table here, and we're going to add a table here, two separate tables that allow us to have a page that will flex and move as we want. Now here's our original page. It's called Home, and here's our original text, our text document. You need to set it up, and pause the video if you need to, but set it up so that you've got Home and the text edit version of Home, your original source document, and the browser open side by side. If you don't have that set up, pause the video now, get that set up, and then come back. Now, I'm assuming you've done that by now. So if you've done that, what I want you to do now is go back to your source file here, your student website folder. And we are not going to edit this document. We're going to duplicate this document. Duplicate the document by right-clicking and choosing Duplicate. So again, you go to the document, right-click, choose Duplicate. It will give you something called Home Copy. Rename it Home 2. Of course, it's already called Home 2 HTML. And now, close this. Go over here. Open Home 2 in your browser. It's going to look exactly like the one we have. And go over to Text Edit. Open Home 2 in Text Edit. And you'll see I open there, but we open Home 2 in Text Edit. And that is incredibly important that we do that. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you can read what I'm doing a little bit easier. But make sure that this is there. So I'll change it. Make sure to just put in a little piece of text. Just make sure that you're absolutely what you want is there, and it absolutely is. How did I get that little equal sign? I don't even know. Where'd that come from? Oh, I can see where it came from. I accidentally put it up here. So there we go. Now, there's my site. That's exactly what I want. Now, we are going to change our header to include a menu. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to define what our header is. We're going to use something called a comment. A comment is a piece of code that you put inside of your source file, inside of this file here, that tells you what that code does. The browser will ignore it, but you will know where your editing is. You're going to use the less than sign, an exclamation point, and then you're going to go dash dash. And then you're going to just say header begins here. And then you're going to close it. And make sure you close it. Save and run it. Look, nothing has changed. If I don't close it, I will tell my browser everything after this mark is a comment. Watch what happens. The page disappeared because I actually told it to make the page disappear. That's my fault. So I'm going to dash dash colon or dash dash greater than and reload the page. It's fine. I'm also going to go down here, and I'm going to right here, because this is where it's going to change. I'm going to put in another comment that says header ends here. And that's just my comment to me, so I know that everything in my header is going to be between these two lines. To make it easier to read, my header is going to include my Mr. Tush sign. And then I'm going to build a one-row table. That's right, I'm going to build a menu. If you look, this is a menu going all the way across, and it's a one-row table. Can you guess how many cells there are? Pause while you think. You probably guessed it, there's 4 cells. So we're going to build a 4-cell table right here. We know how to do that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to tell it, okay, this is a table. Sorry. Open the table. And I'm going to actually tell it to give me a width of, I'm going to tell it to give me width of, style, sorry, colon. I'm going to tell it to make it go across the page. And then I'm going to tell it to give me a row, because we need a row. I'm going to go down here, close my table row. And guess what I forgot to do? I almost forgot to close my table. So there's my table. It's my one row table. I haven't done anything with it yet, but watch what happens. As soon as I load this, we're going to have a little space appear here. See, just put in a little space. Invisibly, it says, I know there's a table here. I don't have anything in my table, but I'm going to put something in the table. Well, right now, these are just 4 words. Home, about me, web design, and music. So I'm going to go in here. We know how to do this. CD, home, about. See how we're doing. Save. Oh, there it is, home and about. Now, save myself a little trouble. Highlight. Copy. Paste. Paste. Web design. Music. Save it. Run it. There we go. Now, let's bring that page all the way across. What happens underneath it doesn't matter. The only thing I don't like about it is I think it's rather broad, so I'm actually going to go in and I'm going to change it to 80%. I'm going to change the web design to 80%, the width to 80%. Now it shrinks it up a little bit. I think it just looks a little better. Now, the thing I don't have is I don't have links going between the different pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this word home into a link. And you know how to do this. I'm going to go right to this code right here. I'm going to add an additional tag inside of it. The attribute tag, href, equals, and you know how this goes, equals, quote, and we're going to call this home2.html. We're not going to call it home because it's actually going to take us to a different page. And then we're going to close the A tag. Save it. Refresh it. Look, it's a link. If I click on it, it takes me right to here. Now, the only other table we have, the only other page we have going is the music page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the attribute tag, and we call that table 1, and we're going to close that. And we're going to reload the page, and now I've got home, and I click home, I'm home, I click music, I go to my music page. If I go back, I can click my home page. Now wait a second, I didn't actually add that. Well, let me tell you what I did. Save us a little bit of time. The next thing you're going to realize about your page is that you're going to have to, hang on a second, you're going to have to open up that page, table 1. And what's going to happen is you're going to copy header here. Copy all this, go over to this table, and grab all of this and paste. So you're going to put your header at the beginning of this page. So save it. And now, when I go between the two, the menu is the same. If I want to put in an About Me page, that's the next thing I'd have to do. So I'm going to let you just get your menu up in your 2 pages for now, and then the next video will cover how to do this part here, this second table, and I'll pick that up on our next video.